Ever feel like your brain's just juggling way too many balls at
Oh,
once?
absolutely. All the time.
Well, that's kind of what we're digging into today. Cognitive load. Basically, how much mental effort your brain needs for information.
Right. And the sources you shared tackled this head on. It's really about understanding how we process things, how we learn.
Exactly. So our mission here is to unpack cognitive load, what it is, why it matters for, learning or just getting through a busy day, and maybe how to manage it a bit better.
Sounds good. So, cognitive load, in essence, is the total mental workout happening in your working memory at any given moment.
Working memory, like our mental whiteboard.
Pretty much, yeah. And it helps to think of the load in three categories. First, there's intrinsic load.
Okay.
That's just the built-in difficulty of the material itself. Like, learning advanced calculus is just inherently tough, right? The concepts are complex.
Some things are just hard. Got it.
Then you have extraneous load. This is the unnecessary difficulty. Think, poorly designed instructions, distracting website ads, confusing layouts, stuff that gets in the way but isn't part of the actual learning task.
Ah, so the mental clutter.
Yeah.
Like trying to read a textbook with terrible font.
Exactly like that. It adds load without adding value. And finally, there's germane load. This is the good stuff.
The good stuff.
Yeah, the effortful processing that actually leads to understanding, making connections, building those mental models. It's the work your brain does to really learn.
Okay, intrinsic, extraneous, germane. So the problem happens when all three add up to too much.
Precisely. Our working memory has limited capacity. If the total load, especially from high intrinsic difficulty plus unnecessary extraneous stuff, exceeds that capacity, learning just stalls.
Your brain crashes.
You could say that. There's just no mental bandwidth left for the germane part, for the actual understanding and integration.
So how do you know if you're overloaded? What are the signs? Besides feeling like your head might explode.
Well, that feeling of being overwhelmed is definitely key. Also, finding it hard to concentrate, making more mistakes than usual, feeling like your thinking is sluggish, slower processing.
Right, I've been there. Trying to follow complicated instructions when you're tired or distracted.
Exactly. That's often extraneous load piling up, like assembling IKEA furniture with confusing diagrams while, I don't know, the kids are screaming.
Yeah, that's a perfect storm of cognitive overload. So if we want people to learn effectively, say, through instructions or teaching, we need to reduce that bad load, the extraneous part.
That's a huge part of it. Instructional design focuses heavily on minimizing extraneous load. Think clear language, logical organization, using headings, bullet points.
Making it easy to follow.
Yes, and cutting out irrelevant information or visual clutter. Minimalist design often helps here. Keep the focus on what's essential.
What about multitasking? We all try to do it. Bad for load.
Oh, definitely. Multitasking is basically cognitive load on steroids, specifically extraneous load. You're constantly switching contexts, which burns through mental resources without deepening understanding of any one thing.
Like trying to follow two conversations at once.
Exactly. You end up not really processing either one properly. It fragments your attention and swamps working memory.
Okay, so less multitasking. What else helps, especially in, say, a learning environment?
Well, breaking complex information into smaller, manageable chunks that reduces the intrinsic load felt at any one time, providing support, like scaffolds.
Scaffolds.
Yeah, like hints or guides that you gradually remove as the learner gets more competent. And using visuals, effectively diagrams, charts can present information in a way that's easier to process than just dense text. It offloads some work.
Makes sense. Use pictures, break it down. You keep mentioning working memory. That link is crucial, isn't it?
Absolutely central. Working memory is the bottleneck. Everything we consciously process has to go through it. High cognitive load fills it up, leaving less space to manipulate information, connect it to what you already know, and transfer it to long-term memory.
And what about what you already know? Does prior knowledge play a role?
A massive role. If you already know a lot about a topic, the intrinsic load feels lower. You have existing mental frameworks or schemas to slot the new information into.
So it's easier to learn something new if it connects to something familiar, like having pegs to hang things on.
Perfect analogy. It frees up working memory resources, allowing for more of that beneficial germane processing.
This isn't just for classrooms then, is it? You mentioned websites earlier.
Not at all. Think about user interface design, app design, even creating presentations. Good design minimizes extraneous cognitive load, intuitive navigation, clear visual hierarchy, simple language. It all helps the user understand and interact without feeling overwhelmed.
So users can actually achieve their goal instead of fighting the interface.
Precisely. Less frustration, better experience.
Are there any limitations or criticisms of this cognitive load theory? It sounds powerful.
It is powerful, but yeah, there are challenges. Accurately measuring cognitive load objectively is difficult. It's often inferred from performance or subjective reports.
Right, hard to put a number on brain strain.
Exactly. And what constitutes high load depends on the individual learner, their prior knowledge, their working memory capacity. It's context dependent. But as a framework for thinking about learning and instruction, it's incredibly useful.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the big takeaway seems to be managing cognitive load, especially reducing the unnecessary extraneous stuff, is key for better learning, better performance, better understanding, really.
That's the core idea. Be mindful of the load you're imposing, whether you're teaching, designing, or even just organizing your own work. Free up that mental space for what really matters.
So here's something for you to think about. Where in your own day, maybe at work, maybe learning something new, do you feel that sense of overload? And what's one small thing, one bit of extraneous clutter you could potentially remove to make things flow a little better? Something to ponder.